Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a great day. Let's take another look here at render, see what's going on. I just clean up the chart. I basically started fresh here with a new chart just so we can get an unbiased view on what's going on. We can see a pretty obvious ascending type of trend here, as well as some nice little support at this local high turned into a new low. So we're going to discuss those things there and obviously kind of figure out some back-end data too and just kind of really just help understand best practice and big picture for situations like this. And what I'm going to do here first is we're going to take a look at liquidation and kind of see if there's any merit or incentive in either direction, because like a lot of times whales will push the price in either direction just based on significant areas of liquidation. So just keep that in mind. This is just very helpful back-end data that not a lot of people look at, and it can kind of double your trading power. So hopefully we can disseminate some information there. If you could please hit the like button, comment below. I deeply appreciate that. Let's take a look here, of course, at the last 12 hours. So we can see pretty obvious a heavy concentration, 835 to 840, just say 860 is a round number. A lot of liquidation on the upside. There's some left to the downside, but majority of that has been swept. So we could see 770, 760, but there's not much more here left. In other words, most of the meat on the bone has been picked, and they could very well recover from here. That's why prices go up and down consistently, because they're consistently testing support and resistance levels. Keep in mind that lower support level where most people had their liquidation events occur didn't really work too well as a support, or it bounced off that level and it's continuing higher. Both of these things need time to evolve in most cases. So from a swing trader's perspective, a lot of times you want to wait for like the daily candlestick to close to get full confirmation. Again, it's never an exact science. I don't always wait myself, but I try to. And for the most part, it's a good rule of thumb. But either way, we can see 100 million, 200, 300, maybe about 400 million, or just 3 to 400 million between now and 880. So there's definitely a lot of potential further upside from here. Just keep in mind, just because there's potential for upside does not mean it's going to go that direction. It just kind of gives us understanding of, we get closer to that level, we start testing that lower range, it'll probably continue higher from there. Okay. Usually when you retest either all-time highs or local highs, you'll see a quick little wick up and back down just to wipe out those shorts. And it's common because market makers have a lot of money. They set a lot of limit orders, and they keep squeezing people out, and then the price shoots up. They get their higher price point, they sell, price comes back down. It's pretty nasty when you actually think about what's going on, but it's par for the course too. You get kind of used to it over the years. After 20 years, nothing really surprises me anymore. Okay, so liquidation deltas up and down, ebbing and flowing, if you will, not really telling us too much here. It basically tells us that, hey, the technical analysis is probably a little bit more beneficial than just focusing on liquidation, because there's not a heavy concentration like right where we're at right now. Having said that, though, if we look at the open interest for the bigger picture, $7.38 is that support range. And if I'm not mistaken, that is kind of right where the price action did a little bounce, right? 738 is right here in this range. So we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 attempts to break through that level, that range. And now with a retest, we've seen 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts to break back down below, and hasn't been successful yet. So it's basically a resistance turn support. It's plain and simple. That's kind of what we're looking at there. All right, so let's take a look at the daily time frame, work our way down. Let's pull up some macro fibs just to get some perspective here. Just kind of see roughly where we might see some resistance. And a lot of times you'll see an aggregate amount of volume at this 0.618, 0.65 fib level. So $10 is a tentative resistance for us. We've also got a $8.60 as a potential next stop for this coin. No matter how you look at it, these are just fib levels. They're not an exact science. If you are a firm believer in Elliott wave, I think you need to learn some more strategies. And again, there's no discredit for Elliott wave theorists, but it's exactly that. It's a theory. It's not really proven, and you can't prove it because they're just random numbers on a chart. Again, I'm not discrediting it whatsoever. I use fib levels all the time. Just know that these levels are very subject to change, and they consistently adjust all the time. So unless you're willing to do that every single time you trade, you may want to consider using other indicators, which we're going to cover here today. Having said that, daily time frame looks pretty solid. We're over 70 on the RSI, more likelihood of further upside. that's stochastic RSI and MACD both swinging upwards, and we've pretty much broken bullish. And we look at the SMAs, confident we'll be above all four, which we are. Okay. Only thing to be mindful of, there's a small fair value gap down as low as about $5.90, basically just say $6 upwards to $6.40. So if we do end up coming down to test this level here, I think it would be sensible the price may come lower. I don't think we're there yet. We're going to be there because again, we saw this nice little pattern here play out where the price action broke to the upside. And the question is it going to sustain this level? Well, there's a strong likelihood it will, because we're going to look at some previous highs here. We can see that is a support level aligning itself with the 200-day SMA. So we'll just go ahead and peep that on the charts. And we can kind of see here previously as well, this range that we're in right now, pretty solid support. We saw two attempts here to break, and those are all right here in the range. So I think we have a solid amount of support in the lower range here, somewhere in like the $7.50 to low $7 range as a low estimate. Anyways, the summary here is the daily time frame looks great, okay? And again, I just like to draw out some fib levels there, or more importantly, support levels based on previous daily or 4-hour candlestick closures to give us perspective on support. So we can see here pretty clear, this level is a pretty solid support level at about 745. Heaven forbid the price pulls back to that level again. There's a good chance we'll see a pivot or bounce from there, like it has already. Either way, there is a fair value gap here that's half filled as low as 760. That could be a potential retest. RSI is in good shape. Money flow above it, always positive. Stochastic swinging down, and MACD trying to diverge but hasn't yet. The truth is we're honoring the ascending trend here. We're still above the 20 and the 50-day SMA. So until we break below those, it makes way more sense to consider long positions. Now, you got to understand, and we want to look at this here on the hourly too, kind of see how this coin responded to Bitcoin's all-time high. So Bitcoin just hit its all-time high. I forget what the highest point was, 93,985. We're just going to say round number 94,000. So Bitcoin broke its all-time high of 93,450 and wicked all the way up to about 94K. And during that time frame, we could see here that this coin, Render, wicked up to about 830 and pulled back pretty aggressive. So it is pulling back with Bitcoin, but it's also responding pretty quick and fast when Bitcoin pulls back. So if you kind of understand the correlation between two coins, it helps a lot. And just kind of recognizing that, you know, this coin has been making higher highs and higher lows consistent in a lot of ways with Bitcoin. That's a very good sign here, because if Bitcoin maintains its range, Render will likely continue higher, right? Not a guarantee, but a larger statistical probability, okay? So we got that. Let's also look at the hourly here, confirm the Ichimoku cloud. We have a good little consideration here, of course, for a long. Lagging span is free and clear for the next 5 or 6 hours. Conversion line over the baseline, and of course, the cloud itself is effectively hanging out below the price action. So we can see this coin's pretty consistent for the most part, minus a couple of outliers of staying above the trend line. Okay, that's a good thing. Those are just places you want to trade into. Don't trade against it. Okay, so even though we could very well see the price action pull back a little bit, the margin for error is greater to take a short into this ascending trend. You will be better off taking a long position pretty much at any given point. I'm not saying right now is the exact level. It'll probably pull back a little with Bitcoin, but you do got to recognize that's effectively what's going on here. This coin is very well paired with Bitcoin, almost 2x to the upside. And just know it pulls back with Bitcoin, but it responds pretty quick and does fairly well for itself outside of that. So what I'll do is I'll post a playout chart here in our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord with the updated chart analysis here. Essentially, I'll update our fibs and everything, and it'll be posted here, of course, so you can kind of see what's going on there. I pretty much provide you with all the details of every coin that I analyze with liquidation levels as well, if optional, if that's a potential option. If we take a look here as well, make sure you reference our Bitunix exchange. Phenomenal exchange, folks. These guys have a 60K prize pool right now, spread amongst the top 20 traders. And it's a pretty significant amount. So congrats to our traders for unlocking that large prize pool there. And then also, again, no KYC or VPN. These guys are awesome. If you don't need to worry about that, we've got other affiliate links down below. Anyways, feel free to reach out if you have any questions. CryptoCash.tech is the site where you can reach me. I'll look forward to seeing the next one. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Take care.